Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Friday Live. It is Friday, the 24th of June, and I welcome anybody who's just tuning in. I know a number of you are tuning in now. If you are just tuning in, feel free to say hi. Like I say every Friday, I always love to know where people are in the world and where you're listening from. So this is my Friday Live that I do every Friday, and I just answer any questions that anybody has around life, around relationships, all of that kind of stuff. So if you have just tuned in, please feel free to say hi. Hey, Roz, thanks for saying hi, darling. Hello, hello. And let me know where you are in the world. I always like to know where people are. Now, oh, hi, Carly. Hello, Carly. Hi, Video. Oh, Video, you're in San Diego. Beautiful, sunny San Diego. Hopefully it's nice and warm in Canada where you are, Carly. It's pretty cold all day here, but it is winter in Melbourne, so I need to accept these things. If anybody else wants to jump in and say hi to me, I do love to know where people are in the world. So it's Friday. And, I've just spent the most divine morning. I've been working with this gorgeous lady who I've been mentoring for a little while. She works with children and comes from the same understanding that I do. And hi, Katja. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Hi, Katja. You're in Wellington. Yeah, I bet it's really, really cold. I bet it's cold. Hey, Leanne. Hi from Adelaide. I just finished watching your live from last week. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Thank you. And realized it was about time. Yes, I'm a bit hopeless with time, I will say to you, as in, I never quite start exactly on time. I'm either finishing something or coming out of something. So it's always going to be approximately 12 p.m. I'm a little bit loose with the time. So, I started about 7 past 12 today. So, hey, Shane. Hi from the Yarra Valley. Beautiful. Nice. The Yarra Valley's gorgeous. What a lovely part of the world. And Leanne, you're in Adelaide, another beautiful part of the world. Okay, everyone. So, hi, Brian. Hello. So lovely to see all you guys. Thanks for saying hi to me. I do appreciate it. So really today if you have a question, feel free to post it below and I will answer it for you. Absolutely. So don't be shy. Any question that you ask really, really, really helps other people who are listening. And if you're not sure about that, believe me, from the amount of messages I get from people who listen to my live afterwards and say, oh my goodness, Fiona, that question helped me with this, or I'm so glad that person asked that question. It was exactly my question. We're here to help each other. We're here to contribute to each other. I'm all about contributing to the whole, okay? And each one of us has a very important role to play in contributing to the whole. And this is one of the reasons why I see relationships as something that's so integral to that, because it's such an enormous part of our life. There is not an area of your life that you're not in relationship with of some sort, okay? There really isn't. And, it's something that can make such a big impact on the quality of our lives. I've just started working with a project manager in a fairly big firm, because that area for that person is something that they are struggling in, and it's impacting the effectiveness of the project. The budget's being blown out of proportion. They can't get the staff that they need. Productivity is low. Like, it's infecting the whole project. And so, it's amazing when you see the power of being great at relationships, how it flows out into every single aspect, area of your life, what you do at work, how you are at home, your level of well-being, the amount of joy that you feel, how effective you are at problem solving, the way that you connect with others, how you move forward when life hits is all of this, right? All of it comes down to how well you do relationships. And for those of you who are tuning in, and if you haven't said hi, please do. That's just me. I'm just going to make this about me for a second. I do love it when people say hi. It does make me feel good. So I'll just go on a little bit of make this about me for a moment. Please say hi. It makes me feel good, if nothing else. But when we're looking at relationship, the quality of your relationships really does determine the quality of your life. And I want you to know anyone can be good at them. It's actually built into to the nature of what it is to be human, to do relationships well. It's built into us. So even if you're sitting here and thinking, yeah, but I had a terrible upbringing, or I've just come out of a violent relationship, or I didn't have good role models, or whatever it might be, I really want you to know that does not have to be your relationship story. You can change that. Your past does not have to dictate your now. I promise you. And in fact, with the understanding that I teach, people are amazed because I actually start to realize that their past has far less relevance than they think. Okay. We do not have to carry your past into the now. And when you change your relationship with your past, right, not eradicate it, but just change your relationship with it, it no longer becomes this thing that you carry around with you like I call it like a tumbleweed of stuff that you then plonk into your now. That does not have to be your story. It does not have to be that way. I promise you that. Okay. So whether you've had a difficult upbringing, or you haven't had great role models, or you've just come out of a really toxic, abusive, difficult relationship. I mean, people who've been in that space all the time. And I really just want you to know you can move forward from here with a completely fresh start and do relationships really, really well, irrespective of that. That is what is uh, every human being's birthright. It's innately built in. It's this extraordinary capacity that we have that's untapped and untouched. And when you tune into it, right, this is where you get that sense of empowerment so that you move forward from your now in a very, very different space energetically. All right. So, and this is true of all human beings. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, old or young, educated, uneducated, wealthy or not wealthy, whatever you do for a living, it's got nothing to do with those things. But this is what is possible for everybody. So I just really want you to know that sometimes we can limit ourselves with this stuff. Oh, but I didn't have a good role model. Oh, but there aren't any good men out there. Oh, there aren't any good women. Women are all this, men are all that, people are all this, right? We can limit ourselves with these defining statements that are just factually incorrect. Okay. And you can realize there's actually something else available. You just haven't tapped into it yet. And it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you're lacking in any way, because people are not broken. They are not lacking. It's just that you haven't been taught how to tune in. Okay. And anyone can be taught how to tune in. I really want you to know that. Anybody. I haven't met anyone that hasn't been able to do it. Some people don't want to, and that's a whole other conversation, but their capacity for it is absolutely there. All right? So I just want you to know that. I think that's really, really important, because a lot of people come to me with this belief that they're broken somehow, that because of what happened in their past, that is going to be something that diminishes them from it forever. Not true, not true, not true. It does not have to be your story. It is not who you are. Okay? It's just where you've been, but it's not who you are. All right? I really want you to know that. And if you're someone who is quick to anger, which was me, also understand that is not who you are, it's just where you go. All right? Or if you're someone who shuts down and withdraws when things get tough, it's not who you are, it's where you go. Now, when you understand that it's possible for you to go somewhere else and it's not who you are, there's a lightness that comes through. You put down this massive mental load. Your thinking clears up. You become lighter, you've got more bandwidth. And that is amazing, amazing, amazing for our relationships. Because most relationships suffer because people have a lack of bandwidth, because they're dragging the past around with them, because they're overthinking, and then they're projecting that out. And they don't even realize they're doing it. Okay? They don't realize they're doing it. So it's not intentional. But once you have an understanding and you realize that's what you're doing, and you stop doing that, and it's easier than you think, a whole new world of relating opens up. And the wonderful thing is you can take that understanding into any and every relationship in your life, whether it be with work colleagues, whether it be with children, whether it be with in-laws, whether it be with you, whether it be with life, whether it be with your sister, with your friend, with family members. See how I just summed up, okay, very quickly then, all of the different relationships that you are in at any given time in your life. See that? And we kind of have this, well, we certainly do in Australia. I know it's very it's changing, but there's this big belief in Australia when it comes to relationships. Oh, we can work it out. We should be able to work it out ourselves. So I just find that fascinating. I really do. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you try and work something out when it's when you're struggling? Why wouldn't you find someone who can help you with that and get there as quickly as possible? Because it affects the entire quality of your life. I mean, if my car breaks down, I'm not going to try and work that out. I'll send it to a mechanic. If if I want some financial help, I'll go to someone who specializes in finances. If I want to get fit, I'll go to someone who specializes in helping me get fit. If I want to eat healthy, I'll go to find someone who specializes in showing me how to do that. Like, you know what I mean? So this crazy notion that somehow we've got to work this out ourselves, it's so limiting and it's so unnecessary. I really want you to know that. Anyone can be great at relationships. Anyone. If you're someone who's sitting there saying, oh, but I'm not good with my emotions and I don't talk much and I tend to shut down and I tend to get frightened, that's okay. Very human. And when you start looking at things from a completely different perspective, you'll realize that you're limiting yourself. It's not actually who you are, it's just where you go, right? Um, Hi, Carol. Malden. Oh, you're in Malden. Ah, okay. Hi, you're in Malden. Nice to see you. Thanks for jumping on board. Chance. Hi, Chance. I'm really well, thanks. Whereabouts are you? You're on YouTube. Awesome. And Caleb, you're on YouTube as well. Great. Okay. Nice to know there are people out there in YouTube land because I am live on YouTube and Facebook at the moment. Okay, so I started this live talking about the fact that I've been working with this gorgeous woman who works with teenagers and kids, and that's her passion. It's her speciality. Anyway, we were talking today because I've been doing some mentoring with her, and hey, Karen, thanks for tuning in. So nice to see you, darling. Hello, hello. And we've been talking about just different client situations, what you would do, how you would handle things, all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that we started talking about, which was a pattern she'd seen in some of her clients, and I certainly see in mine, and I thought I might bring that up with some of you today because I like to, with these lives, I like to kind of bring to you what's fresh and relevant for me, my client work that week, and what's shown up for me this week. So this has shown up a few times, so I'm bringing it to the table. I trust that if something shows up a few times, that it is what's required in this moment. Okay, and one of the things that she and I we've really been talking about is the power of having a clear mind coming from a place of clarity and conviction within yourself. And when you do that, how differently you show up energetically, how differently you show up to the people around you, and how different the mirror is that you get back at you. Okay? Because you've got to understand everything in your life is a mirror of you. Now, I'm not saying it's your fault, but everything in your life is a mirror of you. And so what you want to understand is what the mirror is telling you. Because when something is mirrored back at you, it's an opportunity for you to expand, for you to grow, for you to learn a lesson. And we're all here to grow and learn lessons. This is just what being human's all about, okay? None of us are stagnant. We're all growing and expanding and changing and shifting. This is the very nature of being human. We're meant to do this stuff. And, you want to do this stuff in your relationships, okay? It's people who shift and grow together well that end up being in relationship well, that have relationships that thrive with anyone and everyone around them. Okay, so we were talking about the power of having a clear mind and knowing when you have one and what that means to the conviction that you bring. And sometimes having a clear mind means being able to say to someone, this isn't working for me. Sometimes having a clear mind is recognizing that something isn't a match for you. And, you're able to bring something different to the table, and that person is then either going to be, or that situation, it's not necessarily a person, it can be a situation, is either going to shift and be a match or it's not. But see, when you come from a clear mind, when you come from love, because a clear mind equals love, right? We don't tend to have a clear mind when we're coming from fear. And so many people come from fear in their relationships. They'll stay in a relationship with someone where they're perpetually mothering them. I see this a lot, where there are these parent-child dynamics where someone is being someone else's emotional regulator. Okay. If you are being someone else's emotional regulator, there's something not right in that relationship. It is not your job to regulate another person's emotions. Okay. You really need to know that. It is not your job to regulate another person's emotions. People need to learn to regulate their own emotions. So what do I mean by that? I mean that if you are upset, if or someone around you is upset and they're frustrated and they're angry, they have to learn how to deal with that within themselves rather than you managing that. And so I see this dynamic a lot where people are going in and managing someone else's emotions. They're regulating them. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. Just relax. Everything will be okay. I'm sure they didn't mean it. Da 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 da. Right now, there's a difference between being helpful and being present and then regulating someone's emotions. All right. And when you're regulating, you're taking on board their stuff. You're taking on board their stuff. And I see this a lot in relationships. Please understand that when you do that, okay, you are over functioning and the person you are in relationship with is under functioning. Okay. And I do see that a lot of over functioning and under functioning. And so we were talking about all of this morning. I've been talking about this all morning about how to notice that, what does it look like, the power of coming from a clear mind, the power of having clarity, and what that does energetically. Because when your mind is clear, your energy changes. And you have to understand we are all energetic beings. And it's our energy that interacts first before we do physically. Truly. If you look at your life and you notice the people around you, or you've ever walked into a meeting or a gathering of some sort, you will feel the energy of people around you even before you interact with them. Okay. We are absolutely reacting to the energy first before the person. And the energy that you bring is often our biggest blind spot. And this is why I talk about this a lot, because this is something people can't see. So if you're bringing an energy of, it's okay, I'll make it okay, I'll fix this for you, right? When you're bringing an energy of over functioning, the person around you, their mirror will be under functioning. And the mirror will be, I'm going to under function because you're over functioning. So the mirror for you to learn, right, is this person's under functioning because I'm over functioning. Now, what about if I was to even that up? I stopped over functioning, they lifted their game a bit more, and we were equal. What would that do to the energy? And what would that do to our exchange, to the amount of goodwill, to all the other things that go on in a relationship that make a relationship a partnership, where you are having a meeting of the minds, where there's playfulness, where there's goodwill, where you both feel good, right? So this is why it's really important to understand what your mirror is telling you. Okay. Kirsty. Hi, Kirsty. My partner of 5 years is constantly having affairs, even though he's telling me he stopped doing that and is seeing a psychologist. I feel like I have so much else on my plate that I can't even think about what to do. I'm just doing nothing about it and turning a blind eye and not thinking about it. Do you have any advice? Great question, Kirsty. I guess I'd need to know a little bit more about what you want and what you're looking for in regards to in order for me to be able to give you some advice around that. Okay. So first of all, I'm really sorry that you're um, in that situation. Um, you've got to take some time, and this is very important, to find your own bandwidth. Bandwidth is very important. It's a big, big part of what I teach, because you have a lack of bandwidth. I can hear it. She's saying, I've got so much on my plate, I can't think about it. And you know what? I really want you to know that you can get bandwidth without things changing out here. Okay. A lot of people think I can only get bandwidth if I stop this thing or change this thing or give up this thing. No, you can get bandwidth without this changing. And then when you've got more bandwidth, you can look out here and you'll see a very different reality out here. You'll see it will look different. So you need some bandwidth. You need to tune back in. Like, I can hear that you're not tuned into you. You're out of tune, right? And a lot of people are out of tune. Okay. So what does that mean? It means we're tuned into our analytical mind. We're tuned into the yeah buts, the what ifs, the fear. We're tuned into the I can't deal with this. And there is something else available for you to be tuned into. Okay, it is and what I would call that, the words that I would use to describe that are a different frequency, a frequency of wisdom, insight, fresh thinking, ideas, trust, faith, hope, potential, possibility. Now, even as I use those words, can you feel the expansiveness of them? Right. So what I really would encourage you to do, honey, is you've got to tune in. And I would really take the time to do that. So you can get a sense of what really matters to me here. What is it that I want? And what is it that I want to create here? Because I know, and I'm gonna speak to everybody when I say this, okay? When we're tuned out, when we're tuned into our analytical mind, when we're tuned into our ego mind, when we're tuned into fear and we're busy minded and we're rushing and we're doing, okay? When we're tuned into that, we're actually not listening to ourselves. There's a whole other conversation that you need to be listening to, okay? And when you're tuned out and you're not hearing that, this is when we make decisions that don't honor who we are. So another word for that, and I'm going to come back full circle to what I started talking about with this live, is when you're tuned out, you don't have clarity of mind. Okay, you're not home within yourself. And so when you don't have clarity of mind, everything looks like a blur. It looks too hard. It looks too difficult. It looks like I can't do this. I can't. And it looks like you are at the mercy of this situation. And I want you to know that that is an illusion. When you're tuned in, okay, you absolutely see it differently. You realize you don't live in a fixed world. You realize that you become more empowered, and you realize you have a lot more choice than what you could see previously. Okay, your mind slows down, you get bandwidth, and with bandwidth you get fresh thinking, you get choices, you get opportunity, you get new ideas and new ways of seeing things. And it's like when your mind expands, you start to tune into the frequency of love, right? Which is the frequency of life. Okay, I'm not just talking about romantic love, I'm talking about the frequency of love and faith, where you can actually make a decision, and maybe you don't have the how worked out. Maybe you're not sure what the next steps are, but you come from a place of knowing you'll be okay. Okay, this is what's available when you tune out of your busy, overloaded, overstimulated analytical mind and you tune into something else. And that's where the choices come from. That's where the potential comes from and the possibility. Okay, because so many of us are asleep at the wheel of our lives. And a big part of what I teach, a big part of being good at relationships, okay, is waking up and grabbing the steering wheel of your life. Super, super important. But doing it from an empowered way, doing it from a way where you are honoring yourself and you feel good about yourself, where you're proud of your choices and how you're showing up, where you're moving forward from a place where you can feel that you're in alignment. This is possible for you all. I really want you to know that. And I don't say this in a vacuum. I have had some really tough times in my life. Okay, so I'm not sitting here as someone who's never known hard times. I have known some really hard times, and I don't mean to say it as though there's some sort of competition. I know, people are dealing with some really tough, especially at the moment, some tough things around the world. But I don't say this from someone who's not experienced hardship in my life. Okay, and I've certainly been someone who has felt like I've been at the mercy of my circumstances. And to know that that is not true, that there is another way of seeing things where I can get my power back, or I'm awake and I've grabbed the steering wheel of my own life, it is the most amazing feeling. And it is available to all of you. No matter what. I mean, every week, students come join my relatable program. We jump on a Q&A session and they'll throw something at me. But Fiona, I've got this situation. And what about this? How do I handle this? Lots of different situations about all sorts of things. And every time, without fail, I'm able to show them where the power lies, where they can get their power back, where they can feel more empowered. And I don't say this probably sounds really arrogant. I can be mindful I'm not saying this to say, wow, aren't I amazing? It's just the power of the understanding. And when you have it, how empowered you feel. Okay, because I want all of you to know the magic is in you. It doesn't lie in somebody else or something else. The magic is in you, and not enough people know this. Really, this is so, so, so important. I want everyone to know this so that you can make choices that honor who you are. Now, if more people made choices that honor who they are, the whole level of consciousness of humanity would lift. I have no doubt about that. And it only takes a small percentage of the population to make that happen. We don't need everyone on board. We just need a percentage. I'm guessing with this statement. So if someone's listening and you don't agree with me, I will admit this is a guess. But I would say the percentage of that would be around 3 to 4%. That's how powerful people are. to see this, to tune into them, to their own magic, to get that sense of empowerment, to grab the steering wheel of their own life and go, this is where I'm headed, and to have faith and trust that it will work out, even if they feel frightened. Okay. This is what's available to you all. And, being great at relationships is a massive, massive part of that. When we're not good at relationships is when we fall asleep at the wheel. Do you want to know why? Because people will be in a relationship where they're not happy. And when we're not happy, what do? We drink more. We eat more. We watch crappy TV that doesn't feed our soul. We get caught up in drama. We bring out the worst of us comes out. So if you're someone who's likely to get angry more, you're going to get angry more. If you're someone who's more likely to shut down, you're going to display those things. Okay? You're going to show up from a place of insecurity because you're not happy. And you're not looking at it. You're pushing it away. You're distracting yourself. Okay? And a lot of us just are distracting ourselves from ourselves. And so then we're not tuned in and we can't see what else is available, what else is on offer. And this is what I want you to know. No matter what your situation is, and I know some of you are in some really tough situations, okay? People come to me each and every day who are in really difficult situations. And my heart goes out to you. And I don't want to diminish that for you in any way, shape, or form. But I do want you to know there is a lot more available than what you realize. And there is a lot more choice and a sense of empowerment available to you than you realize. You just can't see it right now, okay? You can't choose what you can't see. And it's not because there's something wrong with you, and it's not because you're broken, okay? So many people out there think they're broken. So many people come through life thinking there's something wrong with them. So many people come through life feeling like the past has defined who they are now. That is not true. That's the biggest illusion that people live under, okay? Once you have a different understanding of how we work and how you relate to your past, you can put that down and come from a completely different space. No exception, no exception. Whenever I'm speaking to someone, I'm speaking to their innate well-being that they can't see yet. Okay? So important. Whenever I'm speaking to someone, a client, whatever, I'm speaking to their innate well-being that they can't see yet. And all they need is to see it. Their thinking starts to fall away. Possibilities open up. They get expansive and hopeful. They get fresh ideas. And it's like, oh my goodness, I've never seen this before. I didn't know this was possible for me. Right? That is what's right there. Like, I want you to know how close it is. It's like, as my father would say, it's a very old school, 15th of an inch. It's a very old school. My father used to say that all the time. 15th of an inch away. Okay? This is it's right there. And there are no exceptions. I really want you to know that. Okay, sorry, I know there's a few comments here. Hi, Carol. I was at Tarrangower Monday night. I'm not sure where that, or Mount Tarrangower. Okay, I'm not sure where that is, but okay, you're obviously near one another. Hey, Daryl. Hi, nice to see you. Michelle, it's absolutely my pleasure. Brian, no one knows how amazing life can be until they learn what relatable teaches. Oh, thanks, Brian. This is where love is, and I promise this will change every aspect of your life. It certainly changed mine over 12 months. Oh, thank you so much, darling. Carly, Brian, Borch, I agree. Vidya, it has changed my life in 2 weeks. Oh, guys, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I hope this gives some of you hope out there who are listening, okay, that anything is possible for you. But I really want you to know, and I know I'm laboring this point, but being good at relationships it's essential in your life, okay? You want to make this one of those things that you decide that you want to do. I want to be good at relationships because there's not an area in your life where it doesn't matter, where it won't change the quality and trajectory of your life. There is no area in your life where it comes to how you make money, when it comes to how you follow through on ideas, to your belief in yourself, your relationship with you, to how trusting you are of life and how you get over things when life hits, because life hits, doesn't it? In a myriad of ways, life hits. Things happen that we weren't expecting. We're just on the verge of something and people break a leg or they lose their job or they find out they've been swindled out of money or they find out someone's cheating on them or they discover they have an illness or, this is what I mean by life hitting. But what you want to know is that don't allow that to take away from your faith and trust in life. And so many people do. And then they shrink and they get smaller and they go, oh, well, I won't do that because that happened last time. I have to be careful now because I don't want that to happen again. And they think that the answer is to retract when the answer is always, 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 always to expand. Always, always. The answer is to expand, but we go the other way, right? And so, when you do that, you have to understand when you retract, you retract energetically. And then you're a match for what is at that level in your life. You wonder why stuff keeps happening to you, the same kind of stuff. If you're in a cycle in your life right now, and many people come to me who are, where you feel like you are repeating, because that was a big part of our conversation this morning for this lady, okay, showing her where she's repeating. Now, when you are repeating, it's because you are retracting and not expanding. Remember, we are either evolving or repeating, evolving or repeating, evolving or repeating. That's what's on offer. So if the same thing is happening in your life, it is because you are not evolving, you are retracting, you're not expanding. And what you are being given, and it doesn't look that way to the human, I know that because it can look really unfair and it can look like, why does this happen to me? And I'm trying really hard and I'm a good person. Why does this stuff happen to me? It's because you are lovingly, and I really need you to see this, guys, you are lovingly being given another opportunity to expand. There's this patience in the universe that says, that's okay. You chose to retract this time. Don't worry. I love you infinitely. I know what's possible for you. So here's another chance. Here's another opportunity. Here's another opportunity for you to expand. Oh, you didn't do it that time? That's okay. I'm going to give you another one because I am seeing your potential and I'm taking a stand for that. That's how the universe works. That's how life works. Okay? So if you've got stuff going on again and again and again, just take a moment to go, where is it that I am retracting? Where am I being offered to expand and I'm turning away from it? Where I'm hiding from it? Where I'm distracting myself from it? Where I'm distracting myself by being super, super, super busy and so tired I can't deal with it today? Where I'm distracting myself by drinking, drinking, drinking so I don't think about it? Where I'm eating, eating, eating so I don't think about it? Where I'm working, working, working so I don't think about it? All right? Or where I'm just watching mind-numbing TV, somebody else's lives, so I don't have to think about it. All right? Or where I'm going round and round and round and round and round and round in my head. Just understand you are always lovingly being asked to expand. And so you will get shown the same type of scenario. It might be in a different form or a slightly different situation, but it's the same scenario because you are being given that opportunity again and again and again and again. Now, when we feel that we are a victim to life, we don't see the opportunity, do we? We see life as not going our way, that it's not fair, and how come? And we get stuck in that thinking, that victim thinking, right? Don't hear victim as judgment. It's just an observation. I've been there many times. But you really, really need to understand that when you are in that space, what you are saying is, I am not the creator. There's no magic in me. I have no opportunity, right? I'm at the mercy of life. Nothing could be further from the truth. But if that's what you're putting out there, that's what you're going to get mirrored back at you until you tune into something else and you expand. Until you wake up, grab the steering wheel of your life and take it in a different direction, right? And it doesn't have to be some massive change. I'm just talking about how you relate to your own thinking, how you navigate your frailties, how you navigate your own humanness. Because if you're retracting, there's something you're not doing so well there. And it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means there's something for you to learn. Okay? We've got to stop seeing life in terms of right, wrong, good, bad. We've got to see life as terms of an opportunity to learn, grow, and expand. Because that's what's on offer for you. Even in this moment of now where you are feeling pummeled, stuck, your back is against the wall and you can't see a way forward. What you are being asked to do in that moment is trust in something bigger than you and trust that you are being asked to expand. And if you can't see it, put it out there. I do that all the time. Hey, I'm stuck in this same cycle. I need some fresh thinking. Hey, I'd love an insight around this. Hey, there's something I'm not missing. I put it out there because I know I'm not the be all and end all. I'm just one of millions of humans, millions of people, right? Doing the best that I can. But I do know there's something bigger than me that I can leverage off. And I leverage off it all the time. These are the things, some of the things we talk about in Relatable. And you might go, what's that got to do with relationships? It's got everything to do with relationships. Why? Because when you are tuned into that, when you have a great relationship, you stop projecting your crap onto everyone around you, which is what people do. Okay. We call it vomiting verbally. We just vomit on the people around us. We don't mean to, we don't want to, but we do it. And look, I'll be the first one to put my hand up and say, I used to do that all the time. I used to vomit on everybody. And then I'd feel ashamed of myself and I'd go round and round in this horrible cycle of what's the matter with you? Why do you do that? You're, yada, 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 yada. More noise, more noise. I was totally didn't have my hands on the steering wheel. Okay. Wasn't proud of myself. I wasn't grounded in me. I didn't have a sense of self. Now, because of this understanding that came into my life around 12 years ago, I got my life back. I've grabbed hold of the steering wheel of my life. I'm proud of myself. Am I a perfect human? God, no. I'm not even aiming for perfection. I don't even know what that is. All right. But I know how to get over myself. I don't project onto everybody the way I used to. I have a lot more humility in my life. I'm a lot more present to the now. My mind is clearer. I've got more bandwidth. I'm a lot more trusting of me, of life, of the people around me. I love the opportunity to expand, whereas before all I was doing was retracting. And I feel a lot more peaceful, calmer, and grounded. Now, this is what's on offer for you. It's up to you if you want to look in the direction and take it. Okay? But just know that is what's on offer for you. And I can tell you right now, the feeling of living from that space is incredible. Does it mean I'm happy all of the time? No, I'm not aiming for happy all of the time. That's not the point. The point is that I'm able to move through my experiences with grace. I'm not resisting things the way I used to. I'm not frightened of feeling frightened. There's a lot more ease in my life, in my soul. And what do you think that might do to the quality of my relationships? A lot. I'm not coming from judgment and projection and control and manipulation, which so many of us do, and which I used to do. I'm coming from something else. Bring out the best in the people around me. Not all the time. Don't hear this like I'm no angel. Okay, not at all. I can be way too intense and feisty and fiery and all of those things. I've got my own frailties going on, but I'm not frightened of them. I'm not ashamed of them. I know how to navigate them. If you want to be good at relationships, you have to know how to navigate your own frailties first, and not from a place of fear either. Okay? Once you know how to do that, you can do it with everybody and everything around you, and it's incredibly empowering. Okay. Oh boy, I've just been on one of my rants, which I wasn't even expecting to do today. So sorry, I have been a little bit ranty today. My apologies. I think the conversation I've had today is something that I has really had me want you to see this in you guys. For those of you who are tuned in now, those of you who will listen to this after this is over. Anyway, I really hope this has been helpful. Hey, Rose. Hi. Thanks for saying hi. You're loving this, Carol. Awesome. What you're saying right now is gold, Fiona. Fantastic. This resonates. Beautiful. Great to hear that, Robin. Hi. Oh, hey, Karen. Thank you so much, honey. Fiona, this is 100% true, and you've definitely helped me show up. And I can honestly say, wow, I'm living the best life I've ever known. I can't thank you enough. Oh, thank you. Oh, Michelle, thank you. You guys are going to make me cry. Seriously. Thank you. That's so kind. Thank you. I see. Oh, God. I'm trying not to. See, you got me. You've got me. You know, I know I can be a bit passionate and I can go on my little rants, as they call them in the Relatable members group when I go on a rant on a group call. But I just want you to know I care so deeply about all of you. And I want you to know what's available because it saddens me greatly that people don't realize what's on offer for them. They think somehow that they've missed the boat. And, I used to be someone who grew up believing that I just didn't get a lucky roll of the dice. I believed I was unlucky and that there was nothing I could do about that. That was a very big belief I had growing up as a kid, as a woman in my 20s, and I used to see that evidence everywhere. And so, it's very disempowering and a fearful place to live your life. So I want you to know that is not true. And no matter what's going on for you, there is way more on offer than you can see right now, but you need to know it's there. Okay, everybody. I'll put the link to Relatable in the comments for you. Hey, Susan. Hi from hot Florida. I'm a little bit jealous of you in hot Florida, Susan, but you go, honey. Hot Florida. I'd love to be in hot Florida. Thank you, Rose. When the mind quietens down, it's amazing how many things we can fit in without feeling overwhelmed. Yes, the power of clear thinking. It's the most amazing feeling. Hey, Daryl. Thanks, Fiona. My life is much better having met you. Oh, you guys, seriously. Whew, okay, I'll put the link to Relatable below, and I will see you all next Friday. If you have a question, send it to hello@fionalukis.com.au. Lots and lots of love to you all. Take care, everyone. Ciao.